So Munster 6, Saracens 15, a huge victory for Saracens, and it leaves Munster with a mountain to climb, Andy. But as you were saying all evening, there was a lot for Munster to be happy about this evening in spite of the result.
Yeah, it's not something Munster people, as I suppose as a tradition, like to accept, to be a valiant loser. They've had a lot of heroic defeats in European semi-finals in recent years, and I know it's something they're trying to get out of their culture and acceptance of heroic defeats. But I think today in particular, there's mitigating circumstances for them in the loss. The loss of O'Mahony, their captain, prior to kick off with a tight groin. I think it was tight during the week and obviously didn't come through the warm-up. John Ryan was crucial to their strategy in terms of how strong he was going to scrummage against Vunipola, and early signs were he was dominating that battle. And then obviously a serious injury to Tyg Byrne. So added to Joey Carberry not being involved for quite a while, there's probably four other key personnel other than CJ Stander and Conor Murray. So very, very tough in terms of what they lost, but they brought a lot of physicality, a lot of discipline in defence, showed some good signs in attack against probably the most renowned defence in Europe at this stage. So there's a lot of positives for Munster to take home without a result.
They led for the first probably 15-20 minutes of the second half until midway through the second period. What turned the game though?
Well, I think there was a key moment right under our noses here in the gantry when some choice words from the Munster medic, which we're all trying to find out what he actually said, but Jamie George took real exception to it and it caused a melee over here. It seemed to spice up Saracens. Literally 2-3 minutes later there was a penalty given to JJ Hanrahan. He had kicked one very almost identical a few minutes earlier, and unfortunately for JJ missed that. Would have put Munster 9-3 in the lead, would have potentially put Saracens on the back foot and galvanised Munster for that last 15-20 minutes. I think very unfortunate in life. I was a kicker myself and a 10, and sometimes you shoulder a lot of responsibility, and in this case it was a crucial moment for JJ. It's something that's been part of his game before, and we all hope he can eradicate in the future. So Munster probably could have pulled away, or certainly held on, I think, at that point, a much greater chance. So to me that miss was crucial in the end, and it gave Saracens a bit of momentum to come back.
We'll have to wait and see how Peter O'Mahony is, and John Ryan as well. They looked like, it was a groin injury for Peter O'Mahony and a calf for John Ryan, but obviously the huge one is Tyg Byrne gone off, stretchered off, taking oxygen with what looks like a very, very bad ankle injury. It looks at the very least we're not going to be seeing him in the short term.
Yeah, and I suppose we don't have all the information, but for anyone who is close by, I mean, when the opposition players jump off immediately, there's usually good instinct takes over. It was very sportsmanlike, obviously, from the Sarries players, but immediately there was a sign of serious injury from all those who were very much in close proximity. For Tyg, there's never good timing for anyone to get an injury like that, but probably coming out of a very disappointing World Cup for Ireland, and Tyg perhaps hoping for more involvement, was very, very keen to prove himself now going in under Andy Farrell, coming into a Six Nations, and certainly doesn't look like he'll be back for that one.
Yeah, and as I say, Six Nations just around the corner. One person I might just mention to finish up, how do you think Conor Murray played today? Because obviously for the last few weeks John Cooney's been playing out of his skin, and that continued into last night with 2 tries and a match-saving tackle early in the second half as well. Do you think John Cooney is actually edging past Conor Murray?
I think overall performance of late, I would say Cooney's been the standout 9 in Irish rugby, well, in the last 2-3 games. I think it's a positive for Irish rugby. I think Conor needs someone to push him, and I think we need to, hopefully we'll see an adaptation under Andy Farrell where form gets rewarded as opposed to just reputation. And I think
who would this Andy be starting in the opening game of the Six Nations?
Right now, based on Conor Murray playing well today, I'd probably still start Conor Murray, but I think John Cooney deserves to be on the squad, and very, very close behind Conor. I think Conor box kicked very, very well today. Ironically, I think Munster could have used the other kicking options in the back line as well. Even though Conor's box kicks were excellent, They've JJ there, could have taken a bit more pressure off him, and also Scannell's left boot. They got huge ground gain from Farrell's grubber kick down here at one stage. So to see some variation in their kicking game, I think would add a bit of value to the overall Munster attack. But a much improved performance from Conor, probably hot on the coattails from John Cooney's huge performances in recent weeks.
Well, that's it from Allianz Park, where Munster have been beaten by Saracens by 15 points to 6, and it leaves Munster in a very difficult position. 2 wins at a minimum if they're to have any chance of getting through to the quarterfinals of the Heineken Champions Cup.